Alliances turn to ban. Dire team ban.
Excuse me, Dirt TV. Had to get that out.
Alliances turn to ban.
All right, there we go. Hello, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the grand finals for the EU qualifiers for Dota Starlighters Minor. That's right, we are here ready to get underway. It has come down to this. 2 teams. Only one can go. Tears in the eyes of fans on both sides. It can only be Alliance or Nigma, and just like in Highlander, there can be only one. The other will lay beaten, broken at the side of the road. Will it be Nigma trying to just journey again through the mind of the major and look for success? Or is Alliance ready to show up with an A+ performance? Well, we're going to have to find out. But Alliance, of course, they came into this straight from the upper bracket. They don't know what losing is. Nigma, they've had to experience the pain of loss, and they are mad. They are angry, and they are ready to strike back, as they proved against the previous competitors of yesterday who defeated them, Liquid, who just before this series got destroyed by Nigma. And we're back. Apologies for the delay, folks. There was a slight delay getting into the game. I know there are plenty of PP Jazz and Kikwas in the chat, but I know that you're doing that out of support. You're telling us that you won the game, and the game has arrived, and the game is a Snapfire game, and it might even be a Void Spirit game because it's still in the pool. How does Void Spirit keep getting through is the question I've got to ask. I feel like this hero is just too flexible right now. It's quite funny as well, because if actually you talk to any of the pro players, you know, there's plenty of people in the chat, you refined Twitchers who would watch your favorite pro play, and you probably ask them the question, is Void Spirit OP? And usually the response was no, Snapfire is broken. And most people were like, Void Spirit, after the first few weeks of the patch, was being ignored. He doesn't feel that good. But we're starting to see these item builds come through. We're starting to see the kind of timings you look to play off the lane, and the way you pivot advantages makes it such a pivotal and successful hero, especially with the likes of Puck becoming popular. We're seeing people open their eyes to that role in the mid and the off lane again, and all of a sudden Void Spirit fills a similar gap, but he offers a good stun and I'd say arguably more elusiveness at this point than Puck's, and funnily enough also counters the Puck perfectly. But Alliance, and they're opening this up, they're definitely seeing here, they're pulling out everything they want to do, and they'll immediately go into the Bat Rider. Seeing the Nyx has been banned because Nigma wanted the Snapfire, they take the advantage of picking up the Bat Rider, which is usually also countered by that Nyx, and immediately get the Shaker as well. Now, this could lead to Nigma thinking about a Clockwork pick. It's actually not bad for a Clock already as a 3 or a 4 in this type of game, but maybe a little bit too early. So you might see them pick up the carry in this situation, open up. Alternatively, you maybe just go for a more standardized brawling type offlaner. Slardar, of course, would have been golden, but has already been banned out. Oh, bathe in the glory of Clockwork. We hit it right, folks, and it's a good pick. So in this situation right now, Nigma can run that as a lane combo, or they can flex this into the 4-roll clock, depending on the response of Alliance. But Clockwork just inherently counters Earthshaker very well. It can interrupt Bat Rider's initiation very effectively. And also, if you do run these two on the lane together, it's pretty potent. You have the means to close the gap, where that's what Clockwork sometimes struggles with, right? Getting on top of someone, barrier assault, well, you have the cookie to get you in, you have the Scatter Blast to slow them down. And also, if you're trapped in that area, you're more likely to hit your Scatter Blast for the maximum damage output at the closer ranges. And then, yeah, Nigma, straight away, they just ban out the Razor, because if you see a Clockwork, you could pick a Razor already, and Nigma probably thinking about another melee hero that might suffer, something along the lines of Monkey King, Tiny, as we saw them do in the previous series. We took that hero and had decent impact.
Dire team ban.
This does look like Nigma aren't necessarily thinking about Void Spirit, though, as Void Spirit doesn't care too much about the Razor. It does mean you have to take an early point to dissimulate, but you just, every time he links you, just dissimulate, run away.
10 seconds remaining. 5
Let's see
seconds.
what we'll do with the
remaining.
bans. A little bit of respect also given by Alliance actually banning out the darks here in this one. Not something most teams are highly prioritizing, but Nigma is one of those type of teams that have proven they still like to run it, especially lethal when they get the hands on the Slark in conjunction. And there is room in their draft to still do that type of thing. And also, Clock plus Darkseer isn't a terrible lane. Darkseer is one of those off lanes that actually likes having two bulky boys, even if they are melee, because worst case scenario, you just basically munch down that creep wave before it reaches the towers too. And you can just out-sustain. And once you reach level 2 as well, it's just lethal. I actually like the idea of Darkseer Clockwork in that regard, just because of the nature of the way you pull the waves through. You don't directly assault your opponent, and then one point into Surge is enough to get a Clockwork in and get a kill. Actually, we're going to see the Bloodseeker ban coming out from Nigma, so they could be looking at something along the lines of the Pangolier. I don't think we've seen them play it so far in this
10
qualifier.
seconds remaining.
It could screw with the Bat Rider, but the Shaker, of course, is
5
always a
seconds
deterrent
remaining.
because the fissures can screw you over. But you can, like, a good Pangolier player adjusts, right? He sees the fissure and he sees that as an opportunity to play bouncy ball with himself. And Alliance, right now, what they worried about Nigma getting. Like, Nigma has a decent amount of catch and in and out. Like, they can play around cogs really well, so you want to try and avoid any hero that can screw with that more, with the fissure interactions. You won't be looking at a Tusk already as Nigma, like, that would be too much. I don't think there's room in their draft for it, and also, you already have the clock, and your opponent's already had the Shaker.
Alliances
But the
turn to
puck.
pick.
Yeah, just get rid of the obvious choice. So I don't think either team is looking at Void Spirit this game. Judging by these bans and the way they're playing out, like the ban from Nigma on the Razor and then the ban from Alliance on the Park suggests that no one sees this as a Void Spirit game, or at least won't until the final phase.
Ten seconds remaining.
Right now, Alliance, do you need
5
some damage?
seconds remaining.
Decent amount of control. I think the best way they can open up this second phase is just maybe go for your carry or your mid. Depends what you want to leave till last. I think they could just try and give Limp his hero now, whether it's something like a Pugna set pace, which not so good, or Dragon Knight / DP. Although I've said this before, whenever I see DP, I want to see a double minus. I want to see something that gives minus armor in the lineup to really enable it. But they get the Lich, so they will just, yeah, they'll pick up the support
Alliances
situation.
turn to
And
pick.
right now, Alliance have 3 heroes that could all be supports. There's Nigma open up the Slark, despite the fact they can't get the Darkseer. It's actually a pretty decent lane with the Snapfire as well. Close the control, the follow-up as well, like you pounce. And then after the pounce ends, you can cookie, or you can cookie into a pounce follow-up because it's a little bit more reliable. Grandma's scary. I'd say there's enough. Like, I think in the
10
current
seconds
iteration of
remaining.
Snapfire, there isn't really a lane where she feels bad. Maybe if
5
you do like a
seconds
tri-lane
remaining.
scenario, but you have to be a very kind of in type format. Otherwise, all you're doing is giving more targets to get hit by scatter blasts. I'm loving the fact this hero is getting a lot of experimentation though right now. I do hope that whatever they do with Snapfire, the fixation still stays around the cookie. I think the cookie is the most interesting aspect of this hero
Dire team
in terms of game mechanics that we have.
This void.
And it used to counter this guy's came up here.
Omni Knight.
And they go the Omni Knight. Okay. Well, that's one way to deal with the Faceless Void. It's almost like they're anticipating it. I mean, you are playing against Alliance, right? And like, if there's one hero that Nico Baby loves to play, it's going to be Faceless Void. There's decent combos for Alliance because they do have the Lich Ping Pong Ball. I think right now, they probably just want to round this out with someone that can frontline. Because right now, you've got this Void who's going to be standing
10
ahead.
seconds
And,
remaining.
well, no one else on the team can really
5
back him.
seconds
Protect him
remaining.
with the Lich, with the Frost Shield, but you actually look at the way that Nigma's draft plays, you don't necessarily have the lockdown hold in place because of this Omni Knight now. So what you really need on Alliance is something that can actually frontline alongside you, and they get rid of the Void Spirit. We said it would be ignored the final phase, and actually you are at a stage where it could be pretty lethal. It could actually screw over Void in his own chronos very easily. The pace at which the fake Void, not the real Void of Faceless Void, the pace that Void Spirit plays
10
at
seconds
really
remaining.
screws with Faceless Void, as the Faceless Void doesn't really want to get BKB
5
into like
seconds
third item per
remaining.
se. And given your slow rate of farm early on, that gives Void Spirit free reign for like 25 minutes. And we've seen that in most cases, games are almost decided by that point, right? without excluding big comebacks or insanely close series, obviously, like most games are defined by the rotations you see between around the 20-25 minute mark in the current meta. Early rotations are nice, but it's all how you convert the tier 1s into the tier 2 push in the first rush. Final ban for Nigma. Like, what do they need to fill? Like, what gap are they worried about? I'm trying to think out of the mid what you'd really be playing. This is based on what Nigma want to pick really in their mid. But things you're worried about Alliance maybe pulling out. A Death Prophet could be decent here. Although, I don't know, Nigma is still pretty bulky, and I don't know if the DP damage is enough, and then that puts you on insanely high cooldowns for your Alliance. I'd like to see something that sets a bit of pace. Something that doesn't feel restricted by the big ultimates and can play outside them. Things like Templar Assassin come to mind. Of course, TA would suffer a little bit against the Guardian Angel threat coming out from the Omni Knight. It would be the safest ban. But yeah, I don't think it's the immediate thought Alliance are having. This definitely isn't a Timber game. And they get rid of the Huskar, so they're just removing a little bit of cheese potential here. They'll go for the Ember themselves. I don't know if Alliance... I wouldn't say they go for something like a Meepo. I think Meepo could get roughed by Snapfire pretty hard. Also, I don't think I've seen Limp ever play Meepo. I don't want to say ever, but if he did, it's been a long time since I've witnessed it. So I don't think we're going to get a cheese pick necessarily. I don't think you look at Broodmother in this game either. There's just too many ways to like kill off your little babies.
5 seconds remaining.
And if you're thinking about Limp, like solid picks that he likes things like the Razor, which banned out. The DK used to play a lot of Death Prophet. DP could work on the Ember lane. I'm a little bit worried about how you convert it afterwards. Viper. I don't like Viper necessarily either. I think you get screwed over by the Slark too hard. I mean, Alliance actually, they're taking this one down the line to figure this out. They go for the Timber. I was curious as to whether they do it. I mean, you were still up against the Slark, and the Snapfire could be annoying, but you should do well on the lane, if nothing else. And your job is to just make space for Nico Baby. Like, the way Alliance always plays is how can we enable Nico Baby? And this definitely is a lineup that will be able to play as... Oh, wait, no, they're doing 33 Timber. So, okay, so it's going to be bat mid. There we go. But either way around, like you interchange these two, it's still the same format where you're going to have these 4 active heroes that just have Void occasionally pop in with Chrono and do a lot of work. The bat in the mid is going to be a little bit better than the Timber. I think the Timber is going to suffer a little bit more because you are sticking him on the Slark lane, where you could feel a little bit pressured with the combo Snapfire and Slark. Although Shaker can alleviate that pressure. It's just a matter of when he leaves. Expect Hanskin to maybe hang around until Timber's about level 3, and then he'll look to rotate towards mid before we hit 6. That's the critical point, because that's when you can easily kill as this Bat Rider. Ember shouldn't have a fun lane, is the takeaway from this. Like, he'll level into Flame Guard, which will protect him from the sticky napalm damage coming out. But ultimately, those Flame Guards can be ticked through very quick. It's really like, he has to make a frustrating choice between surviving and farming, really. So, just waiting to get into the game. Those you drafts. This is a best of 5 for those that had nice little pips on the side. Anyone who didn't tune into the series the other day, Nigma did take down Liquid 2-0 to get here. I think when I'm looking at these two drafts, I kind of like Nigma's a little bit more. I think the combo of Clockwork and Snapfire in these fights is going to give a lot of control, and it's just unlocked at 6. Whereas the high potential for Shaker, while Shaker is always going to be this amazing hero, you're only going to need the Blink Dagger at least, and there's always that Clockwork threat. Like, if a clock gets on top of you, your impact in a fight is 0. All right, let's get underway with it. It looks like we is going to be in the safe lane. Yes, they're still going to stick Miracle mid, which means they are going to have the solution to limp on the Bat Rider. This is actually the best case scenario. It's why I'm a little bit surprised they didn't go with the Timber per se, and then just try and get the Ember matchup. which they are going to achieve, but it means that you're going to have a Bat Rider in a high priority position up against a hero that just counters it. Doesn't care about the sticky napalm spam. Like, Miracle should have a fairly easy lane to farm. I expect Limp to probably go for the Firefly build. Flame Break just doesn't really have any value against the Slark. You actually already see the little skirmish up the top. Just trying to get the vision and then get the control. Or you get defensive ward down from Nigma. They understand the Shaker rotation is what could kill them, and that's the thing. That's the other beautiful thing. Like, putting this Slark mid solves really any laning issues you have. You don't have to now worry about the Shaker rotation towards mid. You don't have to worry about the Bat Rider just completely stomping the mid. We might get roughed a little bit, but because it's a Timber, he should still get decent XP. I feel like there's going to be a wide berth from both supports on both sides of this top lane, so high priority on the bot lane for sure.
The battle begins.
There's also some pretty decent kill potential with these two, despite being two melees. If Clock can get quick boots, then you can just run people down. You've got the healing bomb combo with trapping people in, and you're against, what, a Lich and a Void. So if you just find Fada, he's going to die every time. Same time, you can't go on Nika, baby. He should be pretty free to farm here. I'd like to see him grab a casual Glove of Haste, at least one. We've seen this done a little bit in the qualifiers, especially the major. A lot more by players in their pub games experiment with it, because, like, cost efficiency, Glove of Haste is one of the best items in the game right now. And if you are talking about a hero like Void that's relying on this passive bash, it's so important. Which, by the way, GH is in trouble with this Void without bash. Time Walk to just chase down, and Fada with the spam up. Frostblast gets the kill. This is why we see Clockworks try and start with something like a Windlace usually. Boots is also nice. It can just be really frustrating against heroes like Lich, and Miracle is getting rough hard. He actually might be... Oh, the play! 33. They switched up the lanes, and he just got completely and utterly outplayed with that tree placement. Beautifully done by 33. Never gets himself a solo kill on this Slark. Oh, that is beautiful to watch. That's what you want to see. Although, not if you're a Nigma fan. And now Lim, he's taking the whole tower here. He needs to get aggro off him. It's not about hitting anymore. And there is the fissure block to ensure they get the kill. He'll go down. Lim will die for it, but he'll be happy with that trade, even if he is dead a little bit longer. Things going well for Alliance to start these lanes. 33 getting this solo pick really changes the dynamic of this lane. Like, he's playing it so on the edge because Miracle could easily just kill him in return. It's that volatile. You have to remember the way that Essence Shift is working is it's basically pure damage. But I think the window is going to close fast. So once you have 2 points of reactive armor, all that Miracle is doing is healing you to full quicker when he's taking all of this stat away from you. Right? When he's reducing the amount of health you have, great. That means these fixed number reactive armor stats are going to be better. I think Fada's... Yeah, GH needs to be safe right now. Mind Control is coming in, so he'll keep him alive. But this Lich is doing a lot of work. Fada has just made such a great transition into the 5 role. It feels like every time I watch him, he's growing more and more. He just understands the limits of his supports a lot better than when he first started. Warding is getting so much better than it was at first. I remember when the Alliance stack first got together, they didn't really ward, actually. They just aggressively played into the enemy's jungle, and that was it. Nigma at the same time definitely looking a lot better than yesterday. And usually it comes off the back of Miracle having a good start. So it's crucial that he doesn't die again, because I think Nigma, when you look at both their victories, the key factor was that space was always made for Miracle, and Miracle always got a ridiculous abundance of farm. So it'd be nice to see them actually like be able to give a wider berth. I'm a little bit concerned when I look at top and I see that the Kuroki is already a higher level than we, because usually the catch with running Ember on the out lanes is you want to give him a wide berth. You want to stay far away out of XP range so he can just soak it all in. That 6 is so crucial. Miracle, he already used Pounce. 33 is just going to be able to kill him. There it is. Cheeky tree goes down again. That's the second kill with a rotation from Hanskin, and they had vision on this, but it was too late. He'd already used the Pounce. Meanwhile, top, Lim just walks it off. This kill actually gets harder now, because he'll probably go for a second point of Firefly next. Maybe, in fact, you just stay at 1 and go 3 points to Sticky Napalm, because then they feel too scared to attack you. And they know that we has gone for a 1-1-1 build, so his Flame Guard does nothing in these fights. Right now, what you need is you need your Clockwork to rotate. And GH is just stuck on Rune Guarding duty at this moment. The question is, where does he rotate? I think top is actually a good opportunity to kill. You maybe just wait another level or two so that Limp is more value. I don't think you can rotate towards bot. It's just an awkward lane because it's always the time walk away, and killing the support alone isn't worth it. This is actually the good thing about alliances out of lanes. The cores are not easy to kill if you're Nigma. Even mid, right? Even though it's Timber mid, and if he plays too far up, he hasn't got trees to escape. It's a very scary lane to try and approach now that he has 2 kills under his belt.
Denied!
How is Void doing? So he's got the Glove of Haste. He's not going to build a casual one. He went for the Oob instead. This is a totally fine play as well, as it just completely screws the Omni Knight that's been left solo over. Like, if he got bashed again there, it's 100% kill. And he's already low on mana. He's just forced to keep burying mangoes. Like, the best thing that Mind Control can do is exist. Meanwhile, kill in the top and in the mid. Well, it's getting volatile again. They almost kill each other. This is literally just a race now. Whoever hits 6. Now 33 can just do what he wants. There you go, and he knows it. It's actually out of mana, so he'll back off. But if he just brings out some more regen, Miracle is just a guaranteed kill. Right now, this is looking always Alliance. So how does Nigma start to turn this? They have powerful 6s. This is a good way to turn it, though. However, the turnaround opportunity, 33 just going to tap down. Miracle can't hang around. And nothing with 33 because of GH. He's going to stay on the creeps, though, so GH can't do the damage. Creep to your friends when you're playing a Timber, not so much when you're playing the Clock. And now just the movement in Hanskin, not able to get the start. But the pressure just keeps mounting on Miracle. The Lions have reached this point where the outer lanes are self-sustained. The Bat is just going to farm, inevitably. Nika Baby is not going to be hard pressed by this Omni Knight at this point. It's actually a beautiful choice to just go like this. CGH is just going to die. I actually love the way that Alliance is just leveraging this advantage in the mid. Usually there's a temptation to just leave it be, because like, well, you know, if you want mid, if your guy already got solo kills, why do you need to go there? But we highlight this already, that Nigma really play off Miracle's farming success early on to pivot an advantage elsewhere. And now they're just losing heroes casually. Link just got a solo kill top. That wasn't even with a lasso. Even if he dies for it, you don't mind this. I mean, Kura should be able to chase him down, but he's just out of range. He's actually going to get away with this by the looks of it. No, there it is. Push away. Oh, he can't get the Scout Blast just in time. That was close, though. That's max range. Meanwhile, on the mid, GH doesn't want to be here anymore. You can already see that Miracle has gone deep. Now he doesn't have the assistance of Clockwork, though, and the Shadow Dance out won't change what happens next, or will it? 33 once again out of mana. 33. He needs to be a little bit careful. This is going to back up. We does arrive. And the cross ship should go out. The root doesn't do anything. They're just here to stem the bleeding again. And now you're bringing both of your big cores that are meant to carry later to the mid lane just to survive, and that leaves one big late game for farming. Mika Baby, who is now 40-13 on CS.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Here we go. It's a level 6 bat. You can't even stand close to him because he'll just lasso you. I think once he hits 7, it's probably another point in sticky napalm, and you just don't want to be in this lane. You need to so badly, though. Like, there's nowhere else you can go. You don't. If you as the Ember go mid to try and recover, you'll die at 33 instantly as well. So it's just them stemming the tide. Once Nigma hits 6, they have an advantage over Alliance when it comes to support comparisons, as Nigma's 6s are just easily usable. Hookshot, kisses, while the other side has an Echo Slam. You don't have a blink, nowhere near one, obviously, at this stage of the game. And Chain Frost, while good, relies on the Chrono.
Get it up.
Nice pushback. No, let him just walk away. He did use the Flame Break already. The chase is on with the Haster, and they might be able to get this kill, and they will. They'll turn down to Hanskin. That's what Nigma needed. And how often we see runes make the difference here, as it will be 2 on the side of Alliance falling. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, though, they did commit the Chrono to get a kill under Mind Control. Worth it, considering it's just the first Chrono, but losing those 2 tops does definitely hurt. And now 33 in the mid lane. Miracle. Whew. Okay, this is I mean, this is sweaty. This is like, how do they even hang on the lane? Every time he comes in, he knows he's going to be low HP. At least he has 6 now, so the Shadow Dance heal, as you can see, is pretty formidable. But you are just sitting here right now. You're like Oliver Twist, begging for more scraps. The good news is that 33 is slowly running out of trees to cut. So every time you survive this, there's less room to chop, which means there's less damage output he can throw onto you immediately. Bad news is he might just try and force the matter at the 10-minute mark and take your tier 1 tower. Timber's always relying on these 5-minute intervals where the catapult wave can just be leveraged hard. Last time there was too many heroes mid to do it. This time around, there's too many heroes from Alliance that are going to arrive. Miracle does Shadow Dance away, still slowed though. Wiggle his way out of this one, but they are waiting. No pounce for 10 seconds. Chain for off the mark for 33. And it looks like Miracle might have just got away with this.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
He wants off. Limp. They baited himself in a little bit here as GH turns trying to get rid of him, but Limp just a little bit too fast. Kuro, Scatter Blast will finish the deal though. Especially we gets it with a sleight of fist. And meanwhile, Vada now going to go down. The rotation coming out from Miracle, but the stun control is good, and the pounce forward gets the final hit on the Vada. Now Timber trying to arrive. Miracle will move away for the moment, but they're keeping the hot pursuit here as they'll chase him down and serve themselves. These are good kills, but there maybe is a worry that you're reaching a point where you're beating the dead horse a little, in that you always want to keep killing this Slark, but it would be nice to start investing resources into Limp gain more kills, just because he had a dominant start and now he's starting to hemorrhage a little, right? He's 3-4-0 all of a sudden on the board. He's just getting picked off left, right, and center. And when you have that sort of XP lead, it's just you become a funnel for these under-leveled supports, right? So now GH almost has level 6. Snapfire does have the kisses. And make no mistake, they actually have kill potential in the 33 at this stage. Like, if they trap him in the cogs and there's no trees nearby, he will die. If he chains in and they cogs in, the kisses will kill him. There's enough time to get at least half the kisses on target. Mind controls getting pretty bad here. The Chrono again. Everything to keep the Omni Knight down and done. Meanwhile on the mid, Miracle just being solo pressured again.
Dire's structures are
so now that they've got these ultimates online, the question is, where do they make rotation? I think it is about this Timber that we were just talking about. Actually, if the creeps weren't in the way, GH wouldn't have to play. He'll go now, but 33 can just escape this. Chains out. I think they jumped the gun a little. They actually need to maybe bait with Miracle. If they can get 33 to die for Miracle, which he will, he's been doing it constantly, then you can just punish him. But now that you don't have the hook shot, you kind of have to wait around. Luckily, it's a low cooldown. Only 45 seconds to wait. But then you need to make a worthwhile play. You can see Kuro didn't want to do the kisses from the range. You want to be maybe like a screen away maximum, just because of the distance it has to travel. Means that you're less likely to hit. Even when you do have the trap hit, it gives him more time to escape. You're also going to see Nico Baby get involved in the fight soon, by the way. This is one of the big things. Like, he's been finding these picks, but he hasn't away from his existence down here. He's just been content, right? And he already has 4 kills. He almost has a Diffu complete. When he starts getting active on the map, it gets a little bit scary. Like, if you have the stun control, you could burst Miracle's mana supply before he can even Shadow Dance react. Same with Ember, actually. Like, Ember's another one. This is the thing. You run this double Agi lineup, and now Alliance is just going to pick up the mana burn. They've also given Limp the 3-lane top now. So they decided to switch it up. I think Miracle's maybe either going top or just going to farm jungle. I think going top could be rough as well, just because Limp, while they have killed him a little bit, he's not down and under. He's definitely in this game still. But GH is not feeling this game anymore. He made another right? I think he hookshot Nico Baby of all people. I just don't think that's a kill.
Dire's top tower is under
I think this is the rough part about the state of the game they're in, is that because Timber got those solo kills, because it went so brutally on that first blood, well, not first blood, the first blood spill in the mid lane, rather.
Top tower
now all of a sudden, the lane that you thought you could just use this combo to destroy, which would be a Timber far up, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, because kisses are so good against him, doesn't work. So then you have to look at the other lanes, and then you realize that actually that just doesn't work either. It's almost like you're reaching a point where the kisses, at least for the next few minutes, is mainly just going to be a defensive spell to stop Nico Baby from doing stuff in his chrono. Of course, there is conversion points for that, right? When you get to a stage where Slark can start pouncing, when you got these hook shots, you can find pickoffs. But I think you're always going to be eyeing up the supports as the game goes on. And at this stage in the game, you want to be using that combo onto cores, not onto the 4 and 5 of Alliance. Fissure off him up. Dragging him in though. Not able to get him over the top, so he'll get away, or will he? Nico Baby's going in with a Diffu. GH has no mana to play with. He's going to try to go for the Cogs play, but Nico Baby, he throws out the chrono. He goes for 1 kill, and he will be able to find it. The root's going to be thrown out. Now the kisses are coming in. Nico Baby needs to move away. Has got the time walk in a second, so he'll be able to escape. A Miracle getting low himself in the meantime. Now Limp forces out the remnant used by Wee. Fissure is there, and there's the last follow-up. Dragon towards the tree so he can kill him. Echo Slam, everything thrown at Wee to kill him off and enable a push for Alliance on the Tier 1 tower. Echo may have been a little bit overkill, but obviously you don't want to take any chances as, you know, the Ember does still have enough mana to jump away. Just better safe than sorry. It's your first Echo Slam. The reality is you're not going to get better uses until you have your Blink Dagger, and the rate at which your Shaker can farm, he'll probably have Blink Dagger around the same time as Echo Slam's available again. You see the crit on the side of Nigma. They are keeping the gold even here. It's only a 1,000 net worth lead for Alliance, despite what has looked like quite a bullish lane, right? With the Timber being so out of control, the Bat Rudder getting good start, then bouncing back against him, but then especially the Void just farming his heart to death. Now we, oh no. He's not even got the mana anymore. They brought the Chain Frost, everything to make sure he goes down quicker. I think Wee is just too on levels. You need to give him the safest farm. And I mean, we got Tier 1 still standing here. You could argue that is the safest farm, and yet he still dies. Limp won't go down in the meantime. 33 will zone the rest of the side of Nigma away. 3-on-1 scenario. He likes those odds. Miracle, he's actually going to go in for this kill. Limp's still pretty tanky though, and Miracle needs to actually escape quickly. GH trying to come with the barrier salt. The tree does get chopped down before he could get it though. Miracle actually cut the tree just so that 33 couldn't finish him off. In the meantime, you will see Mind Control and Limp go down. The chase is still on. 33's not done. Miracle needs to hide for longer, and as that's happening, Farder does get picked off by Kuro on the back line. Jump out, Nico Baby does use the time dilation, and Miracle is going to be bashed up and killed off still, so it's a double kill for the Void. Nigma still make trades, and they made the best of a bad scenario once they dove in. Especially that cute little play coming out from Miracle to cut the tree that would have killed him straight away. Bought himself enough time that Kuro is able to get some XP and gold on the back line. And yeah, this is damage from me. I'm actually quite glad he's not going for a Maelstrom build. I think Maelstrom in this type of game, like with the volatility, with the way this is starting to ramp up, because we just had a 1 now to 3k net worth lead all of a sudden. If you go for some greedy, I want to farm type build on this Ember, you won't get the space. I mean, it's already been proven if he tries to split push out, he's going to die. So he's forced to fight. Question is, what other team fight components do you have available right now? We're already up to level 9. We need to get that level 2 kisses. It could be big. It's just an awkward investment because while the kisses are strong at that point, you are going to have to invest all that XP in a long cooldown spell. Right, 110, right? Yeah, that's painful. If you miss the mark and you don't have the best setup in the world, then everything goes wrong. We already mentioned how elusive alliances caused are for things like the clockwork. So if you can hit some chains, there it is. Hook shot in. Pounds through as well, but Timber's already here to ruin the day. The chain force is going to be thrown out. The kisses are coming in, but they split up the fight a little bit. Limp will stand his ground. Lassie to drag away from those kisses. Still will die, but Chrono is there. Guardian Angel to try and help out Miracle. He's already used a Shadow Dance though. Now the Heavenly Grace, everything to keep him alive, but 33 still living, and it looks like Nigma might lose heroes first, and Miracle getting low. 33 actually not able to stand up against this, and we're the one who strikes back because he's already got a double kill his name. Alliance have lost 3 heroes. Nico Baby is still looking healthy, but he may need to leave soon. He'll go in. There's the Echo Hack. He buys enough time, but Miracle is still living, and the chains come out. Void, he's bait off more and bit off more than he can shoot. Tries to move away. The chase is on with the pounds. The remnant board as well. Nico Baby will take another one of the Great with him, but he's also going down. The Void is dead. Long live the fish. as they are able to get the biggest kill possible on the board. Everyone on the side of Alliance gets wiped. A 3,000 gold net worth swing towards Nigma, and a much needed point in this game as well. It looked dicey for a moment as well, but the way that this fight gets separated, you just aren't addressing the Omni Knight issue, right? Like, you beat the crap out of him. You put him on the ground. You beat him time and time again. It's not looking like a great game for mind control. But no matter how bad things look, right, in his moment of struggle, in the flashbacks he has of the pain he's experienced in this game so far, he remembers that he just presses R, has a little smile come over his face, and then laughs as Void can do nothing in his Chronos. Another pick off on Limp again.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Excuse me, guys. Whew. But now the dynamic of the dynamic of the game completely changes. 33 needs reinforcements right now. He's down to half HP already. They're going to come in. Heals, chain frost, vision stun as well, looking good. The turnaround opportunity, mind control already low. We'll be able to move away for the moment. Nico Baby chases them, finishes him off, and Kuro, he's in trouble. The chain frost bounce back from the creep. Sweet needs to move away with that final remnant. Too slow. They thought it was an easy kill. Timber baited them in down to half HP. It looked so good, but the fissure was even better. And Hanson's not done. He's got more fissures to follow as he connects on the GH as well. The stun follow-up is there. They'll move away from him as he wants to turn around. They know Slark is in the neighborhood, so they'll just waste GH's time while the rest of the members of Alliance keep farming up.
Time is money.
And it won't be the same sort of gold swing. You won't see a 3,000 gold swing off that fight, but it stems any sort of momentum that Nigma was suddenly building up. As they can't take the tier 1 tower, they cannot take the head of 33. That pesky goblin will live to fight another day, courtesy of these beautiful double braces. He's got the halberd as well. I actually love to see this. I think there's a temptation whenever you play a hero like Timber to get stuck in the rut, right? Where you build the same items every game. It's like yours is great. Lotus could be good depending on the game, but you're thinking Bloodstone, maybe a pipe. Halberd, though, in this game is amazing. If you remove Miracle's impact, then it's almost just the same as what happens when Mind Control uses Guardian Angel. The only difference is one is a much lower cooldown and only has to hit one hero. The other requires good positioning from the Omni Knight to save the day.
Fear not heresy.
Moving in. Nico Baby doesn't want to use the Disco just yet. And they could just chrono this up, but the Shadow Dance has already come out, so they'll back up for a moment. The whole night chrono, they want the 2-man opportunity. The hookshot's going to come in. Control off the face of Void. GH wants to make sure that his team is safe, but Nico Baby chases through, sees the opportunity to kill off the Clockwork. I'm not sure if he totally needed to die for his team, but better safe than sorry, as Nico Baby did have the opportunity to keep moving forward the time. The fissure, just a tip connects on the Kuro. Time dilation comes out. They see the easy target, and they'll take out the old lady on her dragon. Not done just yet, though. Flip. Chasing in, give him vision on the mind control. He's used the Heavenly Grace on himself. He will die as well, and this should be the tier 1 tower afterwards. They don't need a creep wave for this.
Middle tower is under attack.
Meantime, there will be some chip damage done on the mid. Ember didn't bother showing up to find the end. He saw how bad it was going. The important part is they got Miracle out, and he keeps on farming, and he needs to farm quicker because this lead is being maintained by Nico Baby right now, and he's going towards a butterfly. I actually love the fact that you got a man to this game as well. BKB is a great item, don't get me wrong. The hookshot's still a little bit of concern though, and your bigger focus is how do I just get rid of all that mana? Because when you look at all of Nigma's heroes, they are so reliant on their mana to survive, right? The remnants coming out from the Ember is important. Most of his damage actually comes from his spells at this stage and throughout most of the game, actually. Slark, if he doesn't have the mana to Shadow Dance, you're killing him 100% every fight right now. Omni Knight, Guardian Angel, you know, you've got so many good spells you want to use, and your limitation is your small mana pool. That's why he's got a 1. That's why he's got this Soul Ring, and you have those Arcane Boots. But if you think about it, Nico Baby, if he just bashes you once, and with the Manta Illusions out, it's half your mana gone, roughly, straight away. Look, shot in. Bottom will be forced stuffed out though. No free kill for Miracle. Now the Chrono comes in. They're gonna try and save the day. The Chain Force is gonna bounce around. Micro needs to drag it away. But Clark is already out of mana. Trying to move away. Shadow Dance out in time, and now 33 zone the rest of the way. But the Diffu's gonna come out on a limb, trying to seclude him from the fight. Echo's lap in. Kisses still stacking on cover right now, and we trying to move away. But the Sister Gate is gonna be there, and he's gonna go down alongside his Clockwork. Now the chase is on. You need to get everyone out on the side of Nigma, but Miracle is already out of mana. Has got a big one to work with. He will wing around to get that map back, but the Yules buys enough time, the reinforcements do arrive, and he cannot pounce out. He tries to move away. Nice into the pounce play. Coming out from Kuro will save the life of Miracle for only 2 seconds, though. As they continue the pursuit through, they'll find the kill. Kuro's going to be chased onto next. They decide it's not worth the dive, though. They back off. Another amazing fight coming up from Alliance. The way they split that as well, that the Chrono, he knew what was going to happen with the Guardian Angel, but the difference between that and the fight that happened is that 33 is much better positioned. He's in support of the maneuver instead of just trying to split the fight completely. He splits it the close members away, right? You have to consider how discombobulated the bottom fight was for Alliance, right? Where Limp is far off on the left side, 33 has to drag far right, and the Chrono comes as a reactionary thing. In that situation, it's an active move, and you know what's going to happen next, but the mana burn is important. Even with that one, even with the Shadow Dance going off, they still have the chase potential because at that point, every resource Nigma is invested into protecting the Slark. There is nothing left to keep we alive. That is we in the player, not we as in the queen. And you can see he's just rushing a BKB, but here's the thing. Once you get that BKB, you probably just get chronoed. And you could argue that that means Slark is free to do what he wants, but let's use that top area as an example. If you chrono here again, Slark, how the hell does he get around this in time? By the time he gets around the chrono, it's gone. And alongside it, your Ember is gone too. That's why it's going to be very hard for Nigma to ever get rid of these wands, actually. Because they now need it against the mana burn. Because if they're in a chrono and they lose all their mana, we said already, they're relying on that. You're going to reach a slot awkward point where if Alliance is still ahead and Nigma don't have room, and you're using these traditional phases where you're like, I'm just going to remove the wand, that's not going to be an option for them anymore. And easy big offs like this are an option for Alliance. Kuro came by as well. He wants to say hi. Alliance might say bye. Chase in. Nice cut the tree. But if he gets extremely deep, yours is going to be there as well. Burn it up. They want to force someone out of Miracle pretty fast, but this time was thrown out so he can't fight. And they're just wasting his time. Chains are good from Wheat. But now the Echo Slam. They jump into Chain Frost. The kisses from Kuro not being interrupted. Fada will go down. But they got Slark. They got the bigger kill to evaporate the Fishman himself. And now Kuro going to be chased onto. Glimmercate to buy some time. We going to move away. Time dilation being thrown out. The chase point is there. The fissure, the banner burn. There is no escape as they are just crumbling on the side of Nigma, and Alliance are taking every opportunity that comes their way. And you can see it. You can see the maths had clearly been done. That Chain Frost just enough to actually bounce down and kill off the Slark. It was close to him getting a chance to maybe just get out of that, but they understood completely the limits of their damage, and they actually stretched to the maximum. I think if you're just a little bit short, like 50 health, 100 health more on that Slark there, he lives, and all of a sudden you're in a situation where this fight could potentially turn for Nigma.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But still, in the same issue as we saw earlier, where they don't have the items. They have to be split up on the map. They have to be farming. At the same time, you don't have this two-core lineup. You don't have this situation where the Void has to think about who he chronos. It's still always going to be about Miracle. And even when he doesn't use chronos in these fights, right? Like even when they're engaging without it, it's even simpler because you know Omni Knight doesn't want to be there, right? Because he's always saving the Guardian Angel for the chronos. And then you just wail on the Slark and you have enough stuns to kill him off, right? You can force the Dark Pact out on one, and then you have layer upon layer. You've got Lassus, you've got the Earthshaker, and now you've got to smoke out Nigma to try and deal with Nico, baby. They have to perma-stun him here, though. He has got the chrono, and he's going to throw it out straight away. No hesitation. 3 years stuck in it to make that fall. The hook shot interrupts. The Chain Frost coming through. Lastly, on the Omni Knight to drag him away. He will not get any value out of the Guardian Angel. Or will he? They move across in time. Buyback comes up from Sapphire. Lynx is also dead. And Nico, baby, is holding his own. We use out of mana already. The Disarm was thrown out, so Miracle needs to retreat. And the Chains are coming in. 33 is on his way in. GH has already used that hook shot, so he can't contribute much more to the fight. The stun comes out to Miracle. He does use the Shadow Dance. He needs a pounce escape, though. He will make it down to the low ground. They can't find him just yet, and it looks like they won't find anyone else as Nigma do minimize their losses. It did cost them the buyback on the Snapfire, but that was Alliance using the chrono, using the Chain Frost. The problem is that wasn't the Echo Slam, so you might even see Alliance look to make more moves. But Nigma, they at least have a response. They can have a response coming out of the kisses still. That's something they have in their arsenal. That fight went pretty badly for Nigma. All things considered, they probably should have lost more heroes. The way the Omni Knight gets caught in that chrono right in the edge, and, you know, some people are going to sit there and go, GH, lol, why he hookshot in? He needs to do everything he can to buy time for the targets in that chrono. The Chain Frost just still done so much damage because this is a level 13 Lich. That's a ridiculous amount of damage coming up to Chain Frost. The up of 150 per bounce at this stage in the game when half your heroes still can't tank the normal brunt of damage coming out from Alliance is destructive.
The armor of omniscience.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And now moving in, Miracle will jump onto Limp, but Limp is playing around these points, around this high ground, so they can't play into them. And now the jump in, GH is already gone. The cookie won't get him out. It'll start face point. Hanskin coming in with the save. The fidget interrupt the Gibson though, and straight across onto Kuro. They want to get that die back out of his score. Buyback comes out from Clock, trying to arrive. Has got the hook shot, but hold on to it. Hanskin buying time. BKB gets to activate. Chain Frost won't bounce. Nice dodge out from Wee, but Miracle's left behind. They need to get him out right now. He also buys some time so they can actually stack on top of him, and he's going to go down. Or is he? No, the heals last moment, get him low, and he's still dead. They couldn't keep him up alive. They're going to lose mind control because he focused all heals onto the Slug, and they're going to lose more. GH, this is going to be his dieback as well, so it's a double kill for 33. We, the only one to get out. This BKB once again not actually doing anything for him. I'm not even sure the Daedalus is going to do anything when he gets to it. He can't even go for some sort of cute Divine Rapier play in this type of game, because then he will definitely get chronoed every time.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And instead, now Nico Baby just solidifying this lead. 16,500 net worth lead, 30-minute mark. Closest competitor from the opponents, 11,000 on Miracle. This is the man who's been farming amazingly well today, who has been the dominant force. And because of this start on the laning fight phase and how well it went for 33, you just haven't seen him pop off. And in comparison, when it's Alliance you're talking about, it's always about Nico Baby. How do you give him a good start? How do you get him on this gold? When you pour so much attention to the other lanes and you leave an Omni Knight alone against the Void, it is not going to end well. Now, Nigma, they need a solution to this. It's a 40,000 net worth lead. It's an Aegis in the hands of a Void, and he still has the Chrono to play around. He's ready to go. He's ready to rock.
Clear cutting.
Hunting bounties.
Also a Paladin, sort of all things.
Dire's middle tower.
Such a nice time for the
Dire's
Void.
middle tower has fallen.
The one thing this hero lacks is lifesteal, and when you have a Timber and a Bat Rider in your lineup, no one's building a Vlad's for you, so definitely ideal fit. Bash is coming out. He's got no mana. Guardian Greaves will get away the Chrono. Only the GH though. Nico Baby was maybe a little bit greedy. I think he thought a second target was going to walk in. They'll still take the Clockwork kill though. Dead for 50 seconds, and they know he has no way of buying back because he's done it previously. So this could easily be a lane. Miracle, the burst, the Sinister Gaze coming in. Dark Pack trying to make Shadow Dance for the Moon. Nico Baby, the first hit bash. Kuro can't do the damage. The Guardian Angel comes out, and Nico Baby has all eyes on him, but with the armor, he doesn't care. Echo Slime isn't even needed to be good. The Chain Frost bouncing around is better, and it will achieve enough that they bring Nigma down. The only one left is we. They're in your base. They're pummeling you down and murdering you one by one. Vija does get dodged out by the Yules, but still a triple kill for 33, and this is looking over. GG gets called. Alliance take game one, and they don't wait around. 31 minutes in. It took a while, but the amount of blood shed in this game, and most of it belongs in Nigma, was painful for them.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I think we